Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends and welcome to another episode of Analyzing Failure, aka What Went Wrong. My name is Spartan Elite 43. I don't know if I said that or not. I'm sorry if I did. But saying my name twice just means that I'm advertising the channel properly, right? Repetition, you know, that sort of thing. Anyway, we are on Scandinavia, and we're in the Siegfried. Now, this is the match that I told everybody that if you guys wanted to see it, just tell me down in the comments and we'll make something happen where you guys get to see what happens when things don't go to plan. And I think these videos are incredibly important, even though very few people actually do this. There are a couple of us out here that do. Like, if you get a good teaching moment match, I've always loved putting them up. I've only recently started calling them, you know, what went wrong and putting them in their own playlist and stuff like that. But I've been doing it for a long time, right? Like, I don't care about putting out videos that have 400,000 damage all the time. Like, yeah, those are great, right? Like, we all love getting the huge damage games. But I think there's a lot more to be learned from games like this one, where things don't go necessarily to plan and you have to improvise and show off what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you can still be useful despite having the worst things happen to you. And this is exactly why I tell everybody when I see the comments where I'm like, well, I spawned in and there's like this on the team, so I quit. No, you don't. You stick with it, alright? Now, I know I've quit matches before, usually during a live stream, right? I don't just walk out on normal matches, but usually during a live stream, if certain things have been going on or whatever, like, I'll leave the match, and there's reasons for that, and the main reason is entertainment, right? I'm there to entertain, and if I'm constantly being, like, thrown in games with a bunch of freaking destroyers, for instance, like, it's not entertaining gameplay. It's 5 goddarn destroyers and a carrier, so, like, six out of 9 people you can't even see, right? That's not entertaining. So leaving that match is whatever. But you don't do that normally. You just that's just something that happens on a live stream, and I'm like, whatever. Anyway, is it the right thing? No. But I digress. This is going to be a perfect match to showcase why you don't do certain things. And again, this all starts with me trying to do too much. We're in the Siegfried, okay? And right off the bat, you can see I am hesitant to push out because I know what's coming, right? Like, I know that every time I spawn in, everything is, like, perfectly there to counter me. My mistake is pushing too soon here. I should have waited for this guy to go. Because I committed to it, I get spotted. The Zeton has yellow rushed in. Normally, this would just be absolutely awful for the Zeton. Resistance gets stopped just in time. And we are full broadside to a Zeton. And of course, he's going to get the most accurate salvos on the planet. Bonk, bonk. And there goes a third of my health. Probably a little more than a third, and we have to use our first heal. Again, mistakes early in the match. I made a critical error, and now I must live with the consequences. Now, what happens from here is, again, this Zeton getting the best RNG you have ever seen. Man gets 6 guns and he lands every single one of them every time he shoots me. And it's like, good lord, where's my RNG like that? Now, I say that, I've already put up good things, but you'll also notice the man's secondaries has set fires. We damage con, and he sets 2 more fires. And I'm like, good lord, man. If this isn't the game telling me I need to just give it up for the night, I don't know what is. But the way we don't give in to this, we're down to 6,000 health, right? This is ridiculous. We're dead. We're dead. And it's all my fault, right? Yeah, we've had some bad RNG with the Zeton having, like, the best RNG on the planet. There's other people shooting us as well. You can see we're down to 1,000. Like, we're struggling here. Now, I could have not fired there. That would have probably been the better choice. But again, just trying to, like, keep things going. I want to try to get rid of the Zeton. We've gotten away from his secondaries finally. We've got some distance between me and the bad guys, so now I can start to get out the way of people. We're going to go ahead and hit the button. Get some health coming back in, right? And yeah, at this point, you should start to recognize that we have made critical mistakes at the beginning of this match. But this is still anybody's ball game, right? And as long as we play smart and break contact, we can still be useful. And speaking of useful, hello Plymouth. Does this look familiar to anybody? Look at those railguns. Wait for it.
Roger.
Bonk. Yeah. Just because you have no health does not mean you can't still be useful. You just gotta have a purpose, right? Now, Zeton has decided to double back, and this is not good for me or this other battleship. But the Benson is spotted here, and you can see I want to shoot the Benson, but I know that Zeton's coming around the corner, and he's actually the bigger threat currently. So instead of going for the destroyer, I go for the Zeton as he comes around the corner, trying to get as much damage as possible, and we get a good hit here, taking him for over 10,000 hit points. And he hits us for 1380. That's a good trade in my book, right? But you can see he's not the only one shooting me. So there we hit for 10,000. They've hit me for about 4,000. A little bit less. But as the Zeton continues to push, we are going to be able to hit him and hopefully finish him off. But, of course, in true Spartan fashion, we got to leave him with just enough to get away. Which means we got to shoot him again. And that means he's going to get another shot off. And we've just used our final heal, which is not ideal. But as he takes a shot at us, we're going to angle away. We're at the border. We finish him off. We avoid taking any more damage from him. And hopefully we'll be able to go dark here. But you'll notice that there's Scharnhorst here. Now, I don't want to be on the border right now. And you can see as I'm turning back towards the fight, like, I don't really have much of a choice. Now, he gets a good shot off here. And Scharnhorst is one of those scary ships. Like, it always seems to be very accurate. And it doesn't have very long shelf life times. So he gets a very nasty hit on me. And we don't get much in return on him, which is sadness. But he gets behind the island. We're okay. We just got to stick with it and pay attention to what's going on. Now, as he gets around the corner, we take a shot. And you can see the destroyer's still here, still spotting us. Zara's there as well, but we get a much better result this time on the enemy Scharnhorst. And the cruiser is right there to be able to do some damage to the Scharnhorst, but at the same time, like, Scharnhorst has torpedoes, so it's not going to go well for the D7. So this is a situation where the D7 should never have been just sitting there. And it's so infuriating to watch when people do it. Like, you see it coming, and people still do it. People still sit there like complete numpties, waiting to die, right? You saw what we had to do. We had to kite away. If we'd have stayed there, we'd have died immediately. Wouldn't have done anything. But because, and you can see now we're using the ability to drop, or to use the armor belt against the 280 millimeter guns of the Scharnhorst, or 283 or whatever they are, millimeter guns. Like, he doesn't overmatch us, right? And we know that. We do overmatch Zara. We let our teammates take out the Scharnhorst that was low health. We take out the Zara, and suddenly we have the advantage. Look at the map control. Look at the teams, and this is when everything starts to go wrong. All right? How many times have we said it? Pay attention to the map. Pay attention to what's going on in the game, and how you should be playing is to win, right? You should be playing to win. Now, unfortunately here, because the Benson is sticking around, I have no choice but to engage. So, I've loaded up the HE, and I'm going to try to slap the Benson. I don't have a choice here. And we are once again going to get hit with some very unfortunate RNG on the Benson. We get a fire, we do some decent damage, but he's going to get a fire on us, and that's going to be our death. There's nothing I can do about that. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I was hoping to stay out of sight, but with their only destroyer in the entire lobby, close enough to be a problem for me, there's not much I can do. Now, we have a Bismarck. We have a cruiser, which is a full health Fiji. We have a battleship on the far side, and we have a destroyer. Alright? So, there are 4 people versus 3, and we have almost a 300-point advantage. This is when people need to pay attention to what's going on and stop forcing things. There is no reason for our destroyer to be in the Charlie Cap currently, up close and personal with a radar cruiser closing in and a battleship right next to him, right? Like, there's no reason for it. It's only ever going to end in sadness. The Nelson can easily one-shot any destroyer if it gets a chance. Bismarck has activated its sonar as it's trying to push in. North Carolina goes down because he's chasing a Baltimore, and that's not going to end well. So now suddenly it's a 3v3, but we still have a 200-point advantage. Bismarck starts shooting at the enemy Nelson, and should have pretty good angles here to shoot him, but he's also put himself in a position where he's going to go behind the island. While the Nelson is engaged, he should be able to do a lot of damage here. Now, I understand he's trying to get away from the destroyer. The destroyer could easily send him back to the port. But again, look at the Benson. What is he doing? Why? Why is he here? Why is this what he has chosen to do? Now, it's pretty obvious that he's spotted because despite shooting his guns, the enemy is right there. And you can see the enemy got within 2.5 kilometers, so when the Benson fired his guns, he got spotted and taken out. Now suddenly we still have a 200-point advantage. This is still a win if our team just gets the f away from there, right? All they have to do, just get away. The enemy is currently capturing a base that means absolutely nothing. It takes a long time to capture a base. They are not capable of winning on points, right? There are 4 minutes left in this match. Even if they capture that base, all that does is even it up. It just evens it up. So all you have to do is not do something incredibly stupid. That's it. And it's at this point that you'll see me getting into chat and I'm actually telling these guys, guys, you have the lead. Just stay away from them. Run. Get out of there. Survive. That's all you have to do. But they won't. And worse than that, he rolls out full broadside in a Fiji in front of a battleship and a Baltimore. Needless to say, I don't need to tell you how that's going to end for him, as the Baltimore takes a shot that looks pretty good. And the Bismarck is trying to put himself in a position where he can be absolutely countered. You know the destroyer's there! His last known position was in the sea cap. You know where he's at, and look, suddenly the Fiji has no hit points. And he's dead. Shocker. 2 salvos from a Baltimore at maximum range, Fiji dies. Why? Because he's just sitting broadside. And then the Bismarck decides he wants to go forward. And guess what happens? Guess what happens, folks? We're still ahead. We're still winning. All they have to do is run away. Run away. But they can't do it. He takes some shots at the Balti, and suddenly the destroyer pops up 3 kilometers around the corner, and all he has to do is YOLO rush the Bismarck, and guess what? Bismarck dies, and they win, and we lose. This is a textbook example of how to throw a match. Not recognizing your advantage, and then putting yourself in a position to lose rather than to win. That is what went wrong. So let me know down in the comments below, do you like this style of video where we break down not only my mistakes, but the mistakes of the team and what led to the inevitable throw or the loss? And yeah, I kind of like these style of videos. Again, teaching moments for everything. Me starting out, getting blasted right off the bat, dealing with adversity, battling back, staying relevant, helping the team win, only to watch everything fall apart at the end. So, not hating on anybody. We post these videos not as whining, not as any of that, but to teach. That is it. Let me know down in the comments below, and if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.